So this lesson I actually have a little bit less material we're going to go over, but we're going to maybe spend a little more time doing conversations and such. So title is Leathanta Saoire, which are vacations. Okay. It comes to the word law, which is they. And the plural of law is Leathanta. And Saoire is related to the word Saoire, which means free. So, okay, so it's holiday, Leathanta Saoire. Okay? So, for a lot of the things you want to talk about, where you've gone and what you've done, you're going to be using irregular verbs in Irish. Okay? Particularly word te, which means to go. Okay? So, we'll just kind of briefly review that verb first of all. So, where did you go? Ka nyachi tu. Okay? And to ask, did you go? It's anyachi tu. So, did you go there? Anyachi tu and shin. Okay, and didn't you go there? Nach nyachi tu and shin. To say yes, it's hui. And I went there. Hui me and shin. And no is ni yachi. And I didn't go there. Ni yachi me and shin. And I heard that you went there. We did a little bit with using go and gur to say that you did something. With the word che, use go instead of gur. Okay, so hula me go nyachi tu and shin. So I heard that you went there, and the go is the that part. Okay. And I heard that you didn't go there. Is hula me nach nyachi tu and shin. Okay, so hula me, I heard. After that, you're going to use some form of go to mean that. I heard that something happened. Okay? There's some other words that do this. Very common one if you're talking about what someone said. So dirt, she or she, go. Someone, he or she said that. Okay? So you could say dirt she go nyaki she and shin. He said that he went there. Okay? You can. We had actually one of the lessons a little while back. We had a whole batch of the words that you used with this. So, for example, shilam, go. I think that. So shilam go nyaki she and shin. So I think that he went there. Okay. Or ni doilum go is I don't think that, or I don't suppose that. Okay, ni doilum go nyaki tu and go nyaki shen shin. I don't think he went there. I think he didn't go there. I suppose he didn't go there. Okay? Alright? And there's a whole bunch more, and I think it's several lessons back that there's a little list of these expressions. Okay? So we'll be playing with these a little bit today. Alright. So, if you wanted to ask someone, Ireland is Éireann, go Éireann to Ireland. So how would you say, I went to Ireland? And he says, hui me. Go Éireann. Okay, so then you just use hui for that. Went. So I went to Ireland. How would you say, I didn't go to, to England. I didn't go to England. Ni yachi me.
Go.
Yachi me to sasana. Okay. How about, did you go, does anyone know how to say, did you go to Spain? Next question might be,
Go Spain.
I forget what Spain is.
Anyaki to Guji and Spain. Okay, so most countries in Irish have, you say the, so the Spain, the France, the Germany. So most countries have that. So when you have on, you have to say go G on, okay, not just go. So places that don't use the in Irish, you just use go. So go Heron, go Sasana, go Hullaban is to Scotland, go America to America, okay? But places that have on use go G. So go G in Spain, go G in rank to France.
I'm sorry, D-T-I?
DTI,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
What is that translating?
The whole thing.
Did you go to Spain?
Not didn't you go?
Did you go, right? And Yahi too. Okay? And you would answer this with either Hui or Niyahi. Okay? So
Anything
important.
with on?
Huh?
Anything with on?
Use goji on, right?
Chak?
Huh?
On chak? You would say that too?
Yeah, so goji and chopa. Yeah, goji and chopa to the store, goji and tolwarga to the supermarket. So whenever you use un with it, you have to use goji instead of chop. Okay? Now, including like some of the Irish counties have, some of them have un in them, like and V would be me. And so you'd say goji and V, but you would not say, you'd say go corky, to Cork. Okay? All right. Now, if you want to ask about a little bit more about holiday type stuff, so where did you go on holiday? A couple ways to say that. Kan yachi tu sira? Or where did you go on your holidays? Kan yachi tu de Leathanta sira? Okay? So either way you can say that. And if you want to ask a little bit, particularly if you're going somewhere in Ireland, this is a good question. How was the weather? And you're going to hear, actually on the tape, I think they're both the northern versions, but 3 ways to ask how something was. So how was the weather? An Amshire, or an Aimshire you'll hear also, is the weather. So how was the weather? Conas avi an Aimshire. So conas is how, avi that was, and I'm sure the weather. Okay? Or how was the weather could be kechi arev and I'm sure. Which is the western way. Or the northern way, kechimaravi and I'm sure. Okay? That's the one actually you're going to hear on today. Alright, so just like we had Kunas Tatu is how are you, and Kehi Wiltu how are you, and Kechimara Tatu is how are you. So these are 3 different ways of saying how. Okay? Now, another thing that's useful to ask is, how did you spend your time? So, Kunas Hatu and Tam. So Kunas is how. The word ka means to spend, among other things. And Tam, the time. Okay? Or kehi or hatu and tam. Okay, so when you use kehi, some of the things change a little bit that come after it. Okay? And kachimara haitu and tam. So in the north it's haitu. Okay? And then you could answer, okay, so your answer about the weather, well, you could say, oh, it was raining, it was wet, and we'll talk a little bit about those. How do you spend your time? We'll be looking at some things that you can say. And this is an important thing to think about is things that you like to do, learn to say those things in Irish so that when you have a conversation with someone, you can say, oh, I like to go cycling or riding horses or sewing or whatever, okay? All right. So, what were you up to? Cad avi or shulagat? Literally, what was walking at you? Okay, what did you have walking? What did you have going? Okay, so what were you doing? What were you up to? Cad avi or shulagat? If you want to ask someone, what are you up to? How do you think you would say that? So this is what were you up to, or what were you doing? How would you say, what are you up to?
Kind of will?
Yeah.
Karta. Katata, shulagit. And you'll know if things ta and vi go together, and rev and will go together. So let's see the expression like kehi will to in the past, kehi rev to. But konas ta to in the past, konas vi to. Okay? Alright, so karavir shulagat, what were you up to? Another expression, how long were you there? Ken ad avi tuan shin. Okay, literally what length, what is the length that you were there? Okay, and we'll look in a little bit about some answers to that. Okay, so before we move on to some vocabulary, let's look at some of our questions here.